World Cup qualifying is back, and there is plenty to talk about. On today's episode, we have highlights and analysis from the match between Iran and South Korea, and we will preview Iran's qualifier against Lebanon. It's time for Team Melli Talk. How would this Asian football derby turn out for Iran? Hey everyone, glad you're back for some more Team Melli Talk. Let's get right to the starting lineup that was used by Dragan Skocic against South Korea. No change in goal. Amir Abidzadeh getting the start. That's his fourth consecutive start in the final round of qualifying. As for the backline, Milad Mohammadi, Majid Hosseini, Hossein Kanani, and Shoja Khalilzadeh. For the midfielders, Ehsan Hajsafi, Omi Nurafkan, and Ahmad Nurullahi. On the wings, Vahid Amiri and Ali Golizadeh. Up top as a lone striker, Sardar Azmoun. Iran was obviously missing some starters, but let's get right to the first half highlights. In the third minute, Iran with the first chance of the match. A turnover by the Koreans, but Ehsan Hajsafi is unable to get his shot on target. Now in the 10th minute, South Korea on the move, but Hwang Ui-jo is unable to capitalize on this cross. Later in the first half, a free kick opportunity sails high and wide. We remain scoreless. The first half is almost over, but Son Heung-min with the rip outside the penalty area, and Amir Abidzadeh is unable to make the save. South Korea takes a 1-0 lead. Soon after, Azmoun could have tied it up, but he was unable to connect with this long ball. Ouch, conceding a goal in stoppage time. South Korea with all the momentum. Let's go to the second half highlights. Not even a minute after the restart, Son Heung-min can make it 2-0, but Amir Abidzadeh is clutch with a huge double save. But things would only get worse for Iran. This time it is Kim Young-gwan who makes it 2-0 for South Korea. The crowd goes wild in Seoul. Son Heung-min with another chance to score his second of the night, but he slips at the wrong time. Iran dodges a bullet. Iran trying to get back in the game, but Azmoun is unable to finish off this perfect ball from Alayar Sayadmanesh. 2 minutes later, now in the 82nd minute, this time it's Sayadmanesh with a chance, but how did he miss this one? Nobody knows. Son Heung-min with another chance, but this time it is Hossein Kanani who makes a key block. And that's the way it would end. A 2-0 victory for South Korea over Iran. Now, let's be real about this match. South Korea was the better team, and it showed on the pitch. South Korea had more possession, better ball movement, and was more aggressive. Iran has dodged bullets throughout the final round of World Cup qualifying, and this time we saw Son Heung-min punish Iran when he was given too much space. From my point of view, I truly believe that Son Heung-min's goal really flustered Team Melli and brought down their morale. I mean, you go into the half 0-0, you feel fine, but you allow a goal in stoppage time, and that really hurts. Iran was sloppy on many occasions, and we saw holes in the back line when South Korea nearly doubled the lead early in the second half. Overall, defense played poorly, and weaknesses were exposed in the midfield as well. A lot of work needs to be done by Dragan Skocic and his staff. And I also can't help but point out missed opportunities. Early in the match, Iran almost had a gift goal, but Ehsan Hajsafi decided to go for all the glory instead of passing the ball to a wide-open Ali Golizadeh. And let's not forget about Alayar Sayadmanesh. Late in the match when Iran was down 2-0, this should have been put away, but it wasn't. South Korea with a 2-0 win, Iran is no longer top of the Group A table. The bottom line is that Iran looked like a team that came to South Korea without a game plan. Even when the current list of players was announced by Dragan Skocic, I was not a fan of 5 center backs being called up. I mean, seriously, why 5 center backs? But calling up 5 center backs isn't my what's the deal moment. Instead, it's about one of the substitutions made by Dragan Skocic. When Shoja Khalilzadeh had to be subbed out because of injury, I immediately thought we were going to see the debut of right back Daniel Ismailifar of Sepahan. But Dragan Skocic decided to bring on center back Aref Golami of Esteghlal instead. And we saw that Golami was not worthy of being on the pitch against South Korea. He was slow and he was out of position. Definitely not good enough or fast enough to play as a right back. Seriously, Skocic, what's the deal? Lebanon is coming off a 3-0 loss at home to Syria and is currently 5th in the Group A table, 16 points behind Iran. The last time these teams met, Iran had an awesome 2-1 come-from-behind victory. Both goals were scored in stoppage time. How can we forget this amazing finish? And when it comes to World Cup qualifying, Iran has won 2 out of 3 meetings against Lebanon. As for the players to watch, I'll be focusing on a pair of defensive midfielders, Jihad Ayoub and Muhammad Ali Dahni. Jihad Ayoub was born in Venezuela and also played at academies in Argentina. And as for Muhammad Ali Dahni, he was born in Sweden and currently plays for Trelleborg in the second level of football in Sweden. What does Iran have to do in order to come out on top against Lebanon? Well, it's very simple. Let's have a look. Number 1, play smart. Number 2, better organization. When it comes to playing smart, I'm talking about being more patient, not overcommitting, and not slide tackling just to slide tackle. And as for better organization, our Team Melli midfielders must set the tone, take control, and not panic when trying to defend crosses into the penalty area. Now, we all know that Lebanon shouldn't be a challenge, but self-inflicted wounds will always create problems. I know we are all disappointed about Iran's loss to South Korea. Losing against a rival definitely hurts, and that 2-0 final score really leaves a sour taste in our mouths. And I know there's a lot of people saying that this next game against Lebanon really isn't important and that Iran doesn't really have much to play for. But I actually disagree. After this disappointing performance against South Korea, I really want to see Team Melli play much better and come out being very strong. I also want to see some more of Amir Hossein Hosseinzadeh, and I would really love to see Daniel Ismailifar make his debut for Team Melli. Now, what about you? Which players do you want to see in the starting lineup against Lebanon? Leave a comment down below. Always looking forward to getting your input. And that's it, everybody, for this edition of Team Melli Talk. As always, really do appreciate the support. Make sure you get to our website, www.teammellitalk.com. Remember, this is your best source for the latest news on Team Melli, the national team of Iran. Make sure you find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know the handle, @Team Melli Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification button. See you on the next edition of Team Melli Talk.